Now, I have to ask, you came off stage an hour ago. Why are you here talking to us and not in bed with a tub of ice cream just flopping out?
I don't know, I warn you, I might not make a lot of sense right now.
Do you feel it physically?
Yes, I do, absolutely. It was really hot today and humid. This is a very physical show. I'm dancing throughout the entire show. It is always challenging, you know, to put together a show of this size and to make it happen every night. Doesn't matter if you're sad or if you had a bad day or if you're sick or if you're coughing. Yeah. You just have to do your best and miraculously make it happen.
The tour comes after a turbulent couple of years for the star, after a split from the father of her children, the Spanish footballer Gerard Piqué, and a move back to the United States.
God knows that the past few years haven't been easy for me, but you know, life has its ways to reward us, and this is definitely one of them.
But what I've learned is that a fall isn't the end, but the beginning of an even better journey.
The music that I created these past couple of years have really helped me transform all that pain or the emotions into something more productive or more precious.
And there's a beautiful moment in the show where you're singing Acrostica, which is dedicated to your two sons, and then they appear on the video screens and sing next to you. How do you keep yourself together during that moment?
Oh, I melt. My heart melts every time when I see them on that screen and I hear the little voices. They're just everything to me. They're my engine and the reason why I'm alive.
In her home country of Colombia, Shakira's been a star since she was a teenager. But with her sights set on global domination, she quickly moved to the US and taught herself to speak English.
I was only 19 years old and I moved to the US like many other Colombian immigrants who come to this country hoping to find an opportunity. I was one of them. I remember I was surrounded by Spanish and English dictionaries because back in the day I didn't really have like Google, you know, or ChatGPT to make songs. That's how I started writing my first songs, and then I got into poetry and started trying to understand how the English language works.
Hola Miami! ¿Cómo está mi gente? Wow, it feels so special tonight to be singing at home. This is home.
What does it feel like being an immigrant in the US at the moment?
Well, for an immigrant in the US, it means living in constant fear, and it's painful to see. I just hope that they can be treated and that we all can be treated under principles of equity and freedom. Those same principles that shaped this nation.
Can we do some quick fire questions just to finish with? What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I grab my phone, drink some water, but lately, you know, I'm starting to meditate.
What's harder, raising two boys or running a crew of 150 people around the world?
Definitely raising two boys, yeah.
And last of all, when will we see this tour in Europe?
I guess you'll have to stay tuned and wait and see.
Excellent.
We can't say dates yet, but we're close to announce. Tenemos que permanecer unidos. Ahora más que nunca tenemos que alzar nuestra voz y dejar muy claro que un país puede cambiar sus políticas en cuanto a la inmigración, pero siempre el trato debe ser un trato humano hacia todas las personas.
At the Grammys, for example, you spoke out for immigrants. You said you are valuable. What does it feel like being an immigrant in the US at the moment?
Well, for an immigrant in the US, it means living in constant fear, and it's painful to see. Países como Estados Unidos, por ejemplo, permitían la entrada de muchísimos inmigrantes y eso fue lo que forjó este país y lo que permitió que se convirtiera en una de las naciones más poderosas del mundo. Fue precisamente por el el trabajo duro del inmigrante. Y así que creo que merecemos ser valorados, tratados con respeto, con justicia, con equidad y con dignidad.
You said you went through a difficult time for a couple of years.
The music that I created these past couple of years have really helped me transform all that pain or the emotions into something more productive or more precious. My fans have been so vital for me. They have shown me that they're really the best fans in the world. Like, I cannot ask for more. They are so supportive. They're like an army of people who've been there behind me 100% and making me believe in me.
It works both ways as well, because there are people in that audience who've been through breakups or through heartbreak and who are taking strength from your songs and your resilience as well.
Yes, absolutely. I took so much courage on so many of the stories that I heard every day, people that I used to run into that would hug me and thank me for a song, or because they were feeling identified, they were identifying with whatever situation I was going through. But in reality, I would thank them because they were really helping me heal at the same time by being the receptors of the message that I was carrying.
Take me back to Barranquilla, where you were growing up as a child.
Yeah. My dad used to be a songwriter, so he was always a huge inspiration for me, and I always wanted to follow his footsteps. So I think when I was 8 years old, I discovered that I could actually put music to those words that I used to write. And, I used to write prose and some poems, but as soon as I discovered that vocation, that attraction to music, and I realized that I was also a songwriter.
And famously, you had to teach yourself English to write songs in English.
Yes.
How did you go about that?
I was only 19 years old, and I was just coming from Colombia, and I moved to the U.S. like many other Colombian immigrants who come to this country. And I remember I was surrounded by Spanish and English dictionaries and synonyms dictionaries, and that's how because back in the day I didn't really have like Google, or ChatGPT to make songs, write songs. But that's how I started writing my first songs, and then I got into poetry and started reading a little bit of Leonard Cohen and Walt Whitman and Bob Dylan, and trying to understand how the English language works.
People think you achieve fame and then you have fame, but you have to keep conquering the world over and over again. Every new album, you have to almost start from scratch. So what keeps you going?
Supongo que la misma curiosidad, ¿no? Soy muy curiosa en el estudio, siempre quiero entender cómo funciona la música y cómo abrazar nuevos desafíos, y esa misma curiosidad es parte de esa pasión y de esas ganas, de ese amor que tengo por la música también.
Gracias.
A ti. Bueno.